There is something very specific happening in the energy surrounding Pisces right now, and if you have been feeling a quiet restlessness inside you, a sense that something is about to shift, a feeling you cannot quite name but cannot ignore either, then you are already picking up on it. Pisces is one of the most sensitive signs in the entire zodiac. You feel things before they arrive. You sense changes in the air the way other people feel changes in the weather, only you are not feeling temperature or wind. You are feeling energy. You are feeling the movement of something bigger than the everyday world around you. And what is moving right now, what is turning and shifting and preparing to open, is a series of doors you have not seen before. These are not the same old opportunities dressed up in different clothes. These are genuinely new pathways, new connections, new directions, and new chapters that are arriving in your life very soon. The universe has a way of saving its most meaningful gifts for the people who are patient enough to receive them, and Pisces, you have been patient. You have waited through the confusion. You have stayed soft when the world told you to harden up. You have kept your heart open even when it hurt. And now the energy around you is beginning to respond to all of that. 11 unexpected opportunities are on their way to you. Some will arrive through people. Some will arrive through timing. Some will arrive through a quiet inner knowing that points you in a direction you had not considered. This video is here to help you recognize them when they come. 1. A door opens in a relationship you had nearly given up on. Pisces, you are ruled by Neptune, the planet of dreams, illusions, and deep emotional tides. This means that your relationships are rarely simple. They are layered with feeling, with unspoken understanding, with a kind of invisible thread that connects you to certain people in ways that are hard to explain but impossible to deny. For a long time now, there may have been a relationship in your life that felt stuck. Maybe it was a friendship that had gone quiet. Maybe it was a family bond that carried too much old pain. Maybe it was a romantic connection that reached a standstill, where both people knew something was unfinished, but neither could find the words to move it forward. The opportunity coming your way here is not necessarily a grand romantic gesture or a dramatic reconciliation. It is something quieter than that, and for Pisces, quiet opportunities are often the most powerful ones. What is coming is a moment of unexpected openness. Someone will reach out. Someone will say something honest that they have been holding back. Or you will find the words rising in you naturally, without force, without the usual fear of saying too much. This is the chance to let something breathe again. Pisces tends to hold on to people long past the point where logic says to let go, and sometimes this is seen as a weakness. But there is wisdom buried in that loyalty. You sense potential that other people have already dismissed. You feel the threat of what could still be, even when the present moment looks like a dead end. Trust that feeling now. The door opening in this relationship is not asking you to forget what happened or to pretend the hard times did not exist. It is asking you to step forward with the compassionate heart you have always carried, and to see if there is something worth building on the other side of all that silence and distance. This reconnection, or this new depth of honesty within an existing relationship, is going to bring something important into your life. It will not look like a firework. It will feel more like a warm light turning on in a room that had been dark for too long. Pay attention to who reaches out to you in the coming weeks. Pay attention to the moments when conversation flows more easily than expected. That is the door opening. Step through it. 2. A creative project finds its momentum after a long pause. If you are a Pisces who has a creative side, and almost every Pisces does, even if you have never called yourself creative, then you know the particular kind of pain that comes from having something inside you that wants to be expressed and not knowing how to get it out. You might have a story you have been meaning to write, a painting you started and left half-finished, a song in your head that never quite made it to paper, a business idea with an artistic heart that you have been turning over in your mind for months or even years. The energy around you right now is beginning to clear the static that has been blocking that creative flow. Neptune, your ruling planet, governs art, imagination, music, and the invisible currents that move through all living things. When Neptune's energy aligns favorably, and it is doing so now for your sign, it is like the river of your imagination suddenly finds its banks again. The water that had been spreading out in all directions, losing its power, begins to move with direction and force. What has been waiting inside you is about to find its way out. This is an opportunity, but like all Pisces opportunities, it requires you to trust the process rather than force it. The momentum will not come from gritting your teeth and pushing harder. It will come from creating the right conditions and then allowing. Set aside time. Clear a space. Let yourself begin without demanding that the beginning be perfect. Pisces has a gift for seeing the finished, beautiful version of things before they exist, and this vision is wonderful, but it can also be paralyzing. The gap between the rough beginning and the perfect vision feels too wide to cross. But the opportunity in front of you right now is not asking you to cross that gap in one leap. It is asking you to take the first step, and then the next, and to trust that the creative energy gathering around you will carry you further than your fear currently believes possible. Something you make in the coming months will mean more than you expect, not just to you, but to someone who sees it or hears it or reads it. Begin. If what you are hearing feels accurate, know that it could happen if you apply this energy consistently for 21 consecutive days. That is the 21-day challenge pinned at the top of this channel. It is built around daily guidance, focused direction, and real momentum. If you are tired of staying in the same cycle, that structure is exactly what has been missing. 3. A financial opening arrives through an unconventional path. Pisces is not traditionally associated with material wealth, and part of this is because Pisces people often genuinely do not place money at the top of their list of priorities. You care more about meaning than money. You care more about connection than status. You care more about how something feels than what it costs or earns. And while this is a beautiful quality, it can also mean that Pisces sometimes overlooks financial opportunities because they do not look the way financial opportunities are supposed to look. The opening coming your way does not follow the standard script. It will not arrive in the form of a job posting on a website or a straightforward business deal with clear terms on the table. It is going to arrive through something that first feels like a conversation, a coincidence, or even a creative pursuit. Someone you know, perhaps only casually, is going to say something that plants a seed. Or you will discover that a skill or gift you have been offering freely, something you do naturally and easily, has a real market value that you have been ignoring. Pisces often gives away its gifts. You help people emotionally without charging for it. You create beautiful things and then hesitate to put a price on them because it feels wrong to turn something sacred into a transaction. But abundance and meaning are not enemies. You can be compensated for what you offer, and that compensation does not diminish the gift. It honors it. The financial opportunity approaching you asks you to look at your own natural abilities with fresh eyes, and to consider how they might translate into real, tangible support for your life. This is not about chasing wealth for its own sake. It is about allowing yourself to receive, which for Pisces is often the harder lesson. You are very good at giving. Receiving is the skill that needs to grow. Watch for the unconventional path. It will not look like what you expect, but when you see it, something inside you will recognize it as yours. 4. A new community or circle of support comes into view. Pisces absorbs the energy of the people around them the way a sponge absorbs water. This is both your gift and your challenge. You are exquisitely sensitive to the emotional atmosphere of any room you enter, and over time, the quality of the people in your close circle has an enormous effect on your well-being, your confidence, and your sense of possibility. For some Pisces reading this, the circle of people you have been spending time with has not been feeding your spirit. It may have been draining it. The people around you may be comfortable but not inspiring. They may be familiar but not aligned with who you are becoming. And you may have felt a quiet longing for belonging in a different kind of space. A community of people who share your values, your curiosity, your openness to something beyond the surface of ordinary life. The opportunity approaching you is a new circle. It may begin with one person, someone you meet in an unexpected setting who introduces you to others. Or it may begin with a place, a class, a group, an online community, or a gathering that you stumble into almost by accident, or what feels like accident. Pisces, you do not believe in coincidence. You know that when something appears in your path at the right moment, it is there for a reason. Pay attention to new people who enter your life in the coming weeks. Not every new acquaintance is a message, but some of them are. When you meet someone and feel that immediate, unexplainable sense of recognition, the feeling that you have known this person before even though you are meeting for the first time, do not walk past that feeling. Follow it. The community forming around you will reflect a more expanded version of who you are. Let it hold you. 5. An unexpected invitation points you toward your next purpose. There comes a time in every person's life when the thing they have been doing stops feeling like enough, and something new begins to call from just beyond the horizon. For Pisces, this calling is often deeply spiritual in nature. It is less about a specific job title or career path and more about a sense of purpose, a feeling that you are here to do something that matters, something that connects you to something larger than yourself. The invitation approaching you may come in many forms. It might be someone asking you to teach something you know. It might be an opportunity to lead or guide or mentor in a setting you had not imagined yourself in. It might be a project that carries a mission behind it, something that does not just produce a product but serves a need, touches a life, or contributes to something meaningful. Pisces has a natural gift for seeing what people need on a deeper level. You see below the surface of things. You understand what someone is really asking for, even when they are saying something different. This gift, when directed toward a purpose, becomes a form of service that is both fulfilling for you and powerful for those you serve. The invitation you are about to receive is going to ask something of you. It is going to ask you to step slightly outside the safe and familiar. It is going to ask you to trust your intuition over your logic, your sense of meaning over your fear of being inadequate. You are not inadequate. You are deeply capable, and the opportunity approaching you has found you precisely because you have been prepared for it, whether you feel prepared or not. Say yes. See where it leads. 6. A healing opportunity arrives that addresses something long buried. Pisces carries a great deal. You feel things deeply and you hold on to them long after the moment has passed. Old pain, old grief, old patterns of self-sacrifice that were formed long ago to keep the peace or protect someone else. These things live in your body and your emotional field, even when your conscious mind believes you have moved past them. The healing opportunity approaching you is not something frightening. It is not going to rip open wounds and leave you exposed. It is going to arrive gently, in the way that Pisces healing always works best. It might come through a conversation that opens something you have kept closed. It might come through a piece of music or art or writing that touches something inside you and lets something loose. It might come through a dream that shows you something your waking mind has been refusing to look at. Or it might come through a person, a healer, a therapist, a wise friend, or even a stranger who says exactly the right thing at exactly the right moment. The opportunity here is not just to feel better. It is to become lighter. When Pisces releases old emotional weight, the change is profound. Your creativity expands. Your relationships deepen. Your sense of your own worth grows stronger. The things that have been possible but blocked suddenly become possible and open. Something that has been sitting heavy in you for a long time is ready to be released. The energy around you right now is safe enough for that release. Let it happen. The healing that comes from allowing yourself to truly feel what you have been carrying, and then to set it down, is one of the most transformative experiences available to a Pisces soul. You have been ready for this longer than you know. If this message is resonating with your sign right now, trust that it is not a coincidence. When the universe wants to speak to you, it sends exactly the right signal at exactly the right moment. And you are here because you needed to hear this today. Your support, whether as a subscriber or as a member of this community, is what keeps these messages alive. The ones that touch hearts, awaken minds, and transform lives. If this video has been making sense to you, drop in the comments the day you were born. Let us keep going. 7. A dormant talent surprises you by showing up when you need it most. Every Pisces has abilities that were set aside at some point. Maybe you were told as a child that this thing you loved was not practical. Maybe life pulled you in a direction that demanded other skills and the talent got packed away like a box moved to the back of the closet. Maybe you simply forgot that you were good at something because the years of not using it convinced you that you never really had it in the first place. The opportunity arriving here is the surprising return of something you left behind. This is not about nostalgia. It is not about trying to recapture something from your past. It is about discovering that the ability is still there, still alive, and that right now it is exactly what is needed. This might show up in a professional context where a skill you have not used in years turns out to be precisely what a situation calls for. It might show up in a personal context where something you created or did long ago resurfaces in a way that creates a new opportunity. Or it might simply show up as a sudden urge to pick something back up, to try again, to give this forgotten part of yourself another chance. Pisces is endlessly adaptable. You have lived many chapters and you carry the learning from all of them, even when you do not realize you are doing so. The talent that is about to resurface has not been wasted in storage. It has been maturing. It has been gathering depth the way a fine instrument gathers resonance with age. When it returns to you now, it will not return the way it left. It will return richer, more sophisticated, more ready to serve the person you have become. Welcome it back. It has something important to offer. 8. A message or piece of information changes your perspective completely. Pisces lives so deeply inside feeling and intuition that sometimes the rational world of information and concrete knowledge feels like a foreign language. But you are not immune to the power of the right information at the right time. Sometimes a single sentence, a single fact, a single piece of a puzzle you did not know was missing, can rearrange everything you thought you understood about a situation. The opportunity coming to you in this area is a breakthrough in understanding. Something you have been confused about, something you have been seeing through a clouded lens, is about to become clear. This might happen through a conversation that gives you context you did not have. It might happen through reading something, watching something, or encountering an idea that reframes the entire situation. For Pisces, information often arrives wrapped in emotion. You do not just learn something new. You feel it landing in your body. You feel the shift it creates in your perspective. When this happens, you will know it immediately. Your whole system will respond. Trust that response. The clarity coming to you is not just intellectual. It is the kind of understanding that creates real lasting change in how you move through your life. A decision you have been unable to make because you did not have enough information will suddenly become obvious. A relationship dynamic you have been navigating blindly will suddenly make sense. A fear that has been holding you back will lose its grip once you understand where it came from. Let the information in. It is coming to set you free. 9. An opportunity to rest and restore arrives without guilt. This might sound like a strange thing to call an opportunity, but for Pisces, genuine guilt-free rest is one of the rarest gifts. You are a sign that feels deeply responsible for the emotional well-being of the people around you. You take on other people's pain as if it were your own, often without even deciding to do so. You give your energy generously, sometimes past the point of depletion, because it is genuinely hard for you to say no to someone who is suffering. And then, when you are exhausted and in need of your own restoration, you often feel guilty about it. The opportunity approaching you here is a window of permission, a natural gap in the demands on your time and energy that is going to allow you to rest deeply without the usual obligations calling you back. This window is not going to stay open forever. Life always fills back up. But right now, there is a softening in your external circumstances that is creating space for you to turn inward. This is your sign to use it. Not to use it to catch up on all the things you have been meaning to do. Not to fill the space with other people's needs, but to genuinely restore. Sleep longer than you normally would. Spend time in silence. Spend time in beauty. Spend time near water, which is your natural element and one of the most powerful restoratives for a Pisces soul. Let your nervous system settle. Let your imagination wander without direction. In this restoration, something important is going to come to you. An insight, a direction, a sense of clarity that could not find you while you were running. The rest is not a delay. The rest is preparation. 10. A financial situation that has been draining you finds a resolution. For many Pisces, there has been a financial situation sitting in the background for some time that has been a quiet source of stress. It might be debt. It might be an arrangement with someone that feels unfair. It might be an income source that has been unreliable, or a financial decision from the past that has had longer consequences than you anticipated. Whatever the specific situation is, something in the energy around it is beginning to shift. This is not a guarantee of a windfall or a magical erasure of difficulty, but it is the beginning of movement where there has been stagnation. For Pisces, financial stress often goes hand in hand with emotional stress, because you do not experience money as purely a practical matter. Money feels personal. It feels tied to your sense of safety, your sense of worth, your sense of your place in the world. When money is a problem, it affects your whole inner life, not just your bank account. The resolution approaching is going to require something from you, but not the thing you might expect. It is not going to require you to be more aggressive or more strategic in the usual sense. What it is going to require is honesty, specifically honesty about what you truly need and what you are willing to ask for. Pisces often does not ask for what it needs. You minimize your own needs, you avoid the difficult conversation, you hope things will resolve themselves without you having to push. But the resolution here is waiting on the other side of a conversation you have been avoiding, or a decision you have been delaying, or a boundary you have been afraid to set. Set it. Have the conversation. Make the decision. The movement you have been waiting for is going to come from the action you take, not from waiting for circumstances to improve on their own. 11. A spiritual awakening or deepening arrives and changes everything. And finally, the 11th opportunity, and in many ways the most significant one approaching Pisces right now, is a deepening of your spiritual life. Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac, the one that contains within itself the wisdom of all the other signs. You are naturally oriented toward the invisible, toward the realm behind the visible world, where meaning lives and where the deeper patterns of life are written. Whether you practice a specific religion or spiritual tradition, or whether your spirituality is simply a private and personal relationship with something you feel but cannot name, this part of your life is about to become more alive and more meaningful. The opportunity here is not a sudden lightning bolt of revelation, although for some Pisces it might feel like one. For most, it will be a gradual but unmistakable deepening. Meditation, if you practice it, will begin to reach places it has not reached before. Prayer, if that is your language, will feel more direct, more heard. Dreams will carry more vivid and meaningful messages. Moments of synchronicity will increase, those moments when two things happen at once in a way that feels impossible to explain as coincidence. Your intuition will sharpen to a point where you begin to trust it in areas of your life where you previously relied on logic alone. And with this deepening comes a kind of peace. Not the peace of someone who has stopped caring. The peace of someone who has stopped fighting the current and has learned to float. Pisces, you were born to navigate deep spiritual waters. The depth that is coming to you now is not threatening. It is your natural home. Let it hold you. Let it guide you. The 11th opportunity arriving in your life is the opportunity to finally feel completely, honestly, and peacefully yourself. If this message resonated with your sign, trust that it is not a coincidence. When the universe wants to speak to you, it always sends exactly the right signal. And you are here because you needed to hear this today. Your support as a subscriber or as a member of this community is what keeps these messages alive. They are the messages that touch, awaken, and transform. If this video made sense to you, leave in the comments the day you were born. These 11 opportunities are not random events appearing from nowhere. They are the natural result of everything you have been building and enduring and learning inside the depths of your Pisces soul. You are a sign that moves with tides, not with clocks, and sometimes that means the timing of your blessings looks different from the timing of other people's. While others seem to receive their rewards on a predictable schedule, yours arrive in waves, sometimes all at once, sometimes after a long wait that felt endless. But they arrive. They always arrive for Pisces because you never stop believing in the possibility, even when everything around you seems to be arguing against it. That belief, that persistent, quiet, unshakable Pisces faith that something better is possible, is the very energy that calls these opportunities toward you. Do not look at these 11 openings with the analytical eye that wants to plan and predict every step before it takes the first one. Look at them the way you naturally look at everything that matters to you, with your heart open, your intuition alert, and your willingness to step into the unknown leading the way. You were never meant to see the whole road before walking it. You were meant to feel the next step and trust that the step after that would reveal itself when you arrived. Some of these opportunities will require courage from you. The kind of courage that does not announce itself with trumpets but simply moves forward anyway, quietly and with deep feeling. Some will require patience, which you have in abundance even when you feel like you do not. Some will require you to receive rather than give, to ask rather than wait, to speak rather than absorb. These are the growing edges for your sign right now. The two fish of your symbol swim in opposite directions, and this has always represented the dual nature of Pisces, the pull between the material world and the spiritual one, between what is and what could be, between staying where it is safe and moving toward where it is meaningful. Right now, the energy of your sign is pulling you gently but firmly toward the direction of what could be, toward meaning, toward expansion, toward opportunities that are genuinely new and genuinely yours. Trust what you feel. Trust what arrives. Trust that the universe has been paying attention to you even during the times when you felt invisible. The opportunities are coming. You are ready for them.